Perfect. So good morning, everyone. My name is Judy Dezell. I'm a director at AMO, but I also have separate responsibility for the separate not-for-profit LAS, which is Local Authority Services. And I was asked this morning to speak a little bit about LAS and what we do. So I've got a few slides here for you, and I do want to leave some time for questions. So first, just a little bit about LAS. LAS was actually created by AMO back in 1992. And at the time, the point of LAS was, and it still remains, basically aggregation, allowing municipalities to put together to get better prices, to extend their capacity, because not all municipal staff have this, municipalities have the same municipal staff capacity. And so that's really what our focus has been and continues to be. And today we offer quite a wide range of programs and services to municipalities. So on the screen, I'm just showing you the wide range of what we offer. So we have things like administrative services. One of our brand new programs actually just announced is the automated speed enforcement. I will speak about that a little bit more this morning. But we also have programs under the Municipal Act, as you know, closed meeting investigations. So we provide a service for that. If you have sewer water line connections for your residents, we have a warranty program for that. And then under energy, that has been a big focus for us in the last few years, especially around electricity and energy planning. We do facility lighting retrofits. We offer diesel fuel. And our oldest program, which was the one created when LAS was created, is natural gas. That is our oldest program. We also have financial programs like group benefits for municipal employees. We have home and auto, that is for you as an individual. We also offer investment services, and I'll speak about that briefly. And another one I want to talk to you quite a bit about this morning is around risk management and the rising insurance premiums and what we're doing on that front. We also have municipal asset services like road and sidewalk assessment for your asset management plans. And we offer a group buying program. And that's the third one that I really do want to focus on this morning. And of course, we do ongoing education and training, particularly around energy efficiency. That's what a lot of our education and training is on. But we also do training on risk management as well. We work very closely, obviously, with AMO, and AMO has done a lot in the last couple of years around digital services. And I think the pandemic has really driven home how important it is to have digital platforms. So some of the services through partners that you can acquire are things like digital signatures, a secure way to sign contracts, for example. We also offer electronic meeting management. eScribe is the vendor. Many of you, I'm sure, are users of that. We have online occupational health and safety training. We do digital CRMs so that every municipality could potentially have a 311 system on a digital platform. We took great care in doing that particular one because, as you know, many CRM systems are designed for large companies. And we finally were very happy to find Frequency Foundry that is able to scale. A really good example of a recent customer for them is, in fact, the Eastern Ontario Wardens initiative around broadband. They actually, as a small not-for-profit of 3 or 4 people, have taken on this in terms of tracking their projects and all of that. So it is, in fact, scalable down even to the smallest municipalities. We also offer services around accessible websites, digital mental health therapy, as well as one of the relatively new one is a risk management information system, which I will talk a little bit more about under the risk management piece. And then electronic permitting. So this is specifically around building permits. So just a little bit about investing quickly. One investment is actually a partnership between the Municipal Finance Officers Association and LAS. And it was created in 1993 as a turnkey investment service for municipalities that is fully compliant with the Municipal Act. We have a pretty rigorous oversight in terms of governance, in terms of a board, because one investment now is a separate not-for-profit. But we also have committees of municipal staff that give us guidance in terms of what they're looking for, as well as investment industry experts that give us advice in terms of what we should look at in terms of investments. So it's pretty rigorous. We have long held the Legal List program as an offering. What is brand new is the Prudent Investor Program. It was launched just in July of 2020, and there's currently 6 municipalities in this program. There will be 2 additional municipalities, hopefully by the end of this month. They have gone through the process at Municipal Council, and the One Joint Investment Board will be reviewing their investment policy statements and investment plans next week and making a determination, but we fully expect that they will be onboarded as well. And the really great story about this, I won't talk too much about it, but I'm really excited about it because it proves why we did this, is that the municipality of Nebing is one of the municipalities that will be considered next week. For those of you who don't know Nebing is in northwestern Ontario, just outside of Thunder Bay. It has a population of around 2,000 people, and they're seeing the benefit of moving to Prudent Investor. And the whole point of us creating a turnkey service was to help even the smallest municipalities be able to do these kinds of things that generally are only available to large municipalities. So that's a great story, and you'll hear more about that next year as we onboard Nebing. We also have an investment advisory team, and that's actually why One Investment is now a not-for-profit. In order to provide investment advice to municipalities, the Ontario Securities Commission required that there either be an individual or an entity that they provided the ability for advice to. And so we created One Investment as a separate not-for-profit just to provide investment advisory services to municipalities. And that team is in high demand. And we also do education and training. So as I mentioned, I want to talk a little bit about municipal group buying. This is a unique initiative because it in fact is a partnership of like organizations to AMO across the country. So we have municipal organizations around the country who are partnering within this to leverage the buying power of municipalities to get the best prices possible. So there's over 5,000 municipal-based organizations that are within this group. We're focused on the municipal needs. There's over 48 goods and services categories. There's everything from, your paper requirements all the way through to fire trucks. There is even right now an RFP out for ambulances as well. So there is, some specifics, Ontario only kind of things because we are a rather large buying group. It is available on our website. There is no fees or membership required. So if your staff are looking for something, I would encourage them to search the webpage and see if it's there. I think the most important point about this municipal group buying is that almost everything on there, in fact, I would say everything on there, has gone through an RFP process so that you don't need to worry about that. And it's very transparent in terms of that, so that you have that ability to know that a process in terms of procuring was followed. Automated speed enforcement. This is one that is really of interest, I think, to folks who have schools within communities and are looking to enforce, the speed limits in that within that community. So, as you know, the province has introduced the ability for speed cameras for school zones, and a lot of the larger municipalities have already taken this up. So LAS put together an RFP process to find a partner that we could work with and allow for smaller municipalities to actually take part in this opportunity as well to enforce speeds within their communities. So we just announced a week ago, actually, that we are partnering with Conduit Transportation to provide us with the cameras for the speed enforcement. And we are also working with the Ministry of Transportation directly on a way to deal with the fines. So we're going to have a solution to that early in 2022. But right now, you can start thinking about or planning potentially for next year in terms of community safety zones, taking a look at this program and enforcing your speed limits. You do have a process you need to follow. It's not like you could lease the cameras today and have them up and running tomorrow. There is a notification period you need to do, an education session or segment that you need to do for the public. So it's something that does take a bit of time, but nonetheless, I think it's a good opportunity again for small municipalities to work together to take advantage of what some of the larger municipalities are able to do on their own. So around risk management, I have been having lots of conversations with municipalities about rising insurance premiums. Last year, we were asked several times, to take a look at ways that we could actually help municipalities with rising insurance premiums. The challenge that we have, which is exactly the challenge that you are also facing, is that the issue of joint and several makes it very tricky for us to set up anything potentially to, deal with sharing the risk in terms of insurance. So it's not really a viable option for us right now to do a pool or even a reciprocal, because for those of you who have been around for a while, you will recall there was in fact a municipal reciprocal for a number of years. It was created by the old city of Toronto, and several municipalities were involved in it, but it did stop taking on new customers and is winding down now. I think it was around 2016, 2017 that it stopped taking new customers. So reciprocal was in place, but again, joint and several really had an impact on it, and it wasn't able to sustain itself financially. So it is now winding its way down. But one of the things that always seems to come back to us, and this is specifically around AMO's advocacy around joint and several, is that the Attorney General is always looking for data or proof of what exactly the link is between rising insurance premiums and joint and several liability. And so we've decided to take a methodical approach to data. This is a longer play. It's not something that's going to solve your insurance premium issues today, but we're hoping that over time, by collecting data, we'll be able to demonstrate that there is a relationship between rising premiums and joint and several liability. So we have actually partnered with a company called ClearRisk that offers a digital platform for tracking your claims, as well as a way to bolster your local risk management practices. And in partnering with them, we are also going to be getting aggregate data from them to inform the advocacy work that AMO does. This aggregate data will not be of individuals' claims. It will be, as I say, aggregate, and it'll be anonymous, so that we're just looking for trends. We're not looking for specifics around claims. We're just trying to understand what the trends are so that we can better inform our advocacy in terms of joint and several. I think the other important point here too to make is that I think the data will also help municipalities better inform their local risk management plans as well. So we're working on this right now in terms of bringing this out through a pilot to demonstrate again how even this kind of risk management platform would be beneficial to smaller municipalities. So stay tuned for that. We're working on that with ClearRisk right now in terms of the pilots, and there will be a call for participating municipalities. The other thing that we're doing is we've created a risk management working group. So in the larger municipalities, there are, whole departments sometimes dedicated to insurance and risk management. And so we've collected in a working group those staff that work on these things day in and day out. And we're starting to pick their brain in terms of best practices, because one of the things that is missing from municipal risk management right now is what the former reciprocal used to do in terms of sharing best practices. So we can't offer the reciprocal itself, but we can at least start to offer some of the best practices that they were providing to municipalities. So we're going to start doing that this fall. It'll probably happen later this month when you'll see the first issue of the best practices, but they will be targeted towards councils as well as CAOs. And it'll be about why you need to be strategic around your risk management plans and practices. And so stay tuned for that, but we are working on some of this. But as I say, unfortunately, I don't have a solution today in terms of what to do with rising insurance premiums, but I'm hoping that through these longer term plays that we can actually find a long-term solution. So more to come on this in the future. The other thing we're working on is, and this is in partnership with MPAC, is digital building permits. I think, again, the pandemic has really demonstrated how important some of this is. So we have gone out to RFP to find a building permit software provider. The evaluation committee is still working through that. So not yet an announced partner. But what we're trying to do is, through this, not only offer to everyone the ability to take on this software, but we're also going to do a pilot with MPAC. What we're trying to do is demonstrate the best practices around using building permit software, and also how much faster potentially it could be to process approvals through the building permit software. And ultimately what that means for you is that your tax rolls are updated more quickly. It also means that we could perhaps find some efficiencies and address some of the concerns around affordable housing. Again, it's not the complete solution, but it is something that we're looking at and trying to find a way forward to at least support some of the initiatives around affordable housing. So once we have the vendor in place, there will be again a call to municipalities looking to participate in the building permit pilot. So stay tuned on that one. So with that, I am going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm left lots of time for questions. I'm more than happy to take any questions now.
So Judy, maybe while the others are preparing the questions, just a question in regards to the municipal speeding cameras in the area. What's the process? Is it does it come from the police services board? Does it come from the council? Does it come from your the commissioner if you're an OPP? Just walk us through how you see the process for a municipality to implement and those cameras in the school zones.
So I think this is a municipal council decision that needs to be made. And there is a process. I don't have the tip sheet, but we do have a tip sheet, Mac, that I will share with you later in terms of the different things that need to be done. There is a bylaw that obviously needs to be passed with respect to this as well. But I would also encourage you to work with your local police services board and anyone else that you deem, including your school boards potentially, because this is all about education and safety, both for motorists as well as for pedestrians in those areas. So like I said, there's a tip sheet, so I'll provide that. But I think it's more, understanding and educating motorists about what's coming. That's the biggest focus, but it starts with a municipal council decision.
Thank you. And just in regards to the products as far as energy, you touched on that earlier in your presentation. How does a municipality go and find how much more competitive actually you are than just paying your local utilities?
So we often provide energy load information to municipalities so that they can do that benefit analysis, cost benefit analysis. So what a municipal staff person has to do is just provide us with your energy bills, and then we can tell you, based on our prices, what it would have looked like. And then obviously there's a decision that needs to be made whether or not you go or not go. And we even do that, honestly, Mac, for municipalities that don't decide to go with us or are with somebody else and just want to do a comparison. We're happy to take on new municipalities in terms of our programs, but we are here to help municipalities. And so if it's just doing the low profile analysis for you, we're fine with doing that, because at the end, at least you're making an informed decision with the right data.
Thank you. I'll just check the chat to see. No, there's nothing presently. Well, Judy, thank you very much for your presentation. I'll remind everybody that Judy's presentation, like the others today, will be available on the FONOM YouTube channel. I will be sending out to all the municipal clerks across the Northeast and possibly the Northwest the links to the web presentation, so that if somebody in your municipality wasn't able to join us today and they'd like to know more about LAS, that have the ability to go onto our YouTube channel tomorrow, because it takes me some time to splice, and so that that you can, and Judy's always available to share information. I've been on the AMO board for a great number of years. Judy and her team do a fantastic job in assisting municipalities, and they're great partners with FONOM. So thank you very much, Judy, for your time today.
No problem. And I have made you host, Max, so I won't end the meeting on you.
Okay, thanks.